Just over a week ago, I talked about how so many physicians in Ontario and in Canada had expressed caution, concern, and reluctance to speak out about their concerns and about their experiences with COVID with their patients. I'm pleased to say that many more doctors have come out and are speaking out against these intolerable measures, these intolerable consequences that our COVID policies are having on the health and well-being of the people in Ontario, in Canada, and indeed in the Western world. This week, another 20 doctors, preeminent doctors in Ontario, came out and renounced the government policies on COVID. And I thank them very much, because also this week, the Ontario government, our health bureaucracy, and the media have clearly indicated they all want a second lockdown in Ontario, which will impact all of us. But these 20 doctors, I want to read just some of the brief comments that they stated. These lockdowns, they create a situation where there is no way to end the lockdown, and society cannot move forward in vitally important ways, including the health sector, the economy, and other critically important instrumental goods, including education, recreation, and healthy human social interactions. They went on further to say, hard data now exists showing the significant negative health effects of shutting down society. Overdoses have risen. Extensive morbidity has been experienced by those whose surgeries have been canceled. But the most powerful statement they said, in my view, and that's probably because I'm also a father and a grandfather, they stated global data clearly now show that children have an extremely low risk of serious illness, but that they are disproportionately harmed by these precautions. What we're doing to our children, our grandchildren, is unacceptable. It's intolerable. And I want to congratulate those doctors from speaking out. But I also want to recognize the great many doctors who stood up early, stood up often, stood up singularly to face the consequences. Because as I stated in my last video, these physicians have been cautious and reluctant out of fear that they may be investigated by their regulatory boards, that they may lose their license to practice and lose their ability to earn a living if they said anything that was against the conventional wisdom and the narrative of COVID. But those early doctors, I need to recognize them. Dr. Kulvinder Kaur, a wonderful advocate and outspoken physician here in Ontario. Dr. Matt Strauss, another wonderful fella, came out early, came out often. Dr. Amani, Dr. Stephen Malthouse, Dr. Jean-Marc Benoit, Dr. Patrick Phillips. All these individuals came out early to speak about what they've seen. And I can tell you, they are going to continue to speak out because the information that they've relayed to me on how these restrictions are hurting their patients must be known. It must be heard. It must be considered before any other policies are contemplated or enacted. So thank you to all these doctors. Instead of being silent like lambs, they have roared like lions, and they will make a difference. Let's all make a difference. Share my message. Share our message. Like my page. Let's sign my petition to prevent a second lockdown in Ontario.